Can you do me a favor and just take a look at your hands right now? Is there nothing in them? Well, you should probably fill them with some Draggin Bags. DBs, baby. Head on over to dragginbags.com and pick yourself up some heat. Drop code BIGASS12 at checkout. And be sure to check out their latest drops because they are oh so girthy and just something that you just want to make you slap your wife across the face with. So head on over to dragginbags.com. Drop code BIGASS12 again at checkout. Save that money.
Big Ass Cornhole Podcast does not condone.
Don't slap your
abuse.
wife.
All right, welcome back to the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Sean and Dane are with you as always. What's going on, man?
Oh man, doing all right.
Yeah,
Had a nice day today. Nice little day. So
happy for
can't
you.
complain. Thank you.
Did you work?
I did. Yeah, worked all day.
Wow. All right. Oh, nice.
Yeah, we'll recap it.
Busy
here
episode.
shortly, so.
Tons of stuff. Easy week. Right? You know what I mean? It's always nice when there's an open this
Very
week.
true.
There's
Just
stuff to recap and a
throw
bunch
it
of
all
dramatic
down there.
stuff. So plenty of stuff to get to. But before we do that, Dane, do what you do best every single week. Let the folks know what we're sipping on tonight and our favorite segment called What You Drinking.
What you drinking?
Ready?
Well, yeah, go ahead and crack it open. We're just drinking water. This is the day after the national championship, and just have to say that we got after it.
Yeah.
Quite a few buckets amongst the 5 of us that were out watching the game.
It was just smart economically.
It really was, because when I got the bill, I was like, this is for everybody that drank? And it was quite cheap. So shout out to Fat Little Buddies.
Yeah.
Thank you for hosting us, watching Ohio State win another national championship. Kudos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't guessed, we have more audio gold planned for you all this week.
I didn't guess.
We're going to be recapping the ACL Open. That was, I think, was it Missouri?
Yeah,
Mississippi?
Biloxi.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to recap the
Wherever
results.
that is.
Somewhere down south.
Is it Louisiana?
I don't know.
I don't know.
So we're going to recap. Anyways, we're going to recap the results to that. We have tons of dramatic readings. And yeah, that's it.
That's all she wrote.
Nice episode. But before we get into all
Great little
that,
day planned.
we're going to let you know what's going on in our cornhole lives in a segment we call In and Around the Hole.
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
All right, so I keep getting distracted by like Akron versus Toledo, and I don't know why.
Because it's just
such shit
mediocre
basketball.
basketball.
Oh my god!
So you're like, God, you guys are D1.
All right, so now I'm locked in.
Yeah.
So that was.
Focus.
I'm sorry if I was fumbling all over, but I kept looking over. Like, this is so terrible. Why am I watching this? All right, so this weekend,
You were kid free.
for a little bit of it, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So Saturday we had to Pittsburgh at my nephew's birthday party, and it was at one of those giant trampoline type parks.
Okay.
I just fucking
You don't go ball out?
loathe those places. No, man, it's just
Can you
this
still
place.
do a flip?
What's that?
Can you still do a flip
Oh,
on
yeah.
a trampoline?
Yeah.
All right. Just making sure.
But it's just it's just never fun. And my kids always end up get sick, and my son got sick. But we went to my brother and sister-in-law's after that. I was very happy because your boy crushed parlays this weekend like it was a motherfucking job.
Congrats.
I've been on a tear, and I didn't want to say it out loud because I feel like now it's gonna be gone.
Of course it is.
But,
Yeah. You just ruined it.
But you gotta go. Sometimes you gotta just let the people know, you did well. You had a really good weekend, and it was a fun weekend. Watching my brother-in-law just struggle, and I was just hitting everything, and I was just sitting there trying quietly and just oh, nice.
Yeah, my one. I mean, I won a few, but my one big one just let me down. Thanks, Jared Goff can't give me 2 touchdown passes. You son of a bitch.
So
That's all I
okay,
needed.
where are you at with Detroit? Do you feel bad for them, or is it just we know what that feels, man? Sucks?
Honestly, they were in an uphill battle. I know they had a great season, but you can't have that many people
yeah.
on just out for the season and be relevant. I mean, they had no defense. They're basically facing a practice squad out there.
It still baffles me that when the Lions were still actively in the game because they were driving down the field, they decided to take the ball out of Goff's hand and let a wide receiver chuck a ball downfield. Like, what are you fucking doing? It's not the time to do a trick play right there.
It was not. They were hoping for just like a home
They were
run
rolling. Just let them roll. Like, let them cook. Like, my God.
Just let the yards come as they come. And
I mean, it's not like Washington's defense is that good. Like, they're not good. Exactly. They're not that good.
But, oh well. I mean, it was I think the defense let them down, which I knew they would.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think we're seeing Jaden Daniels the real deal.
I felt dirty because that I won a significant amount of money in that game because I took Washington. Because
I didn't take winner. I went over. I mean, I played that game to the T. I literally saw it, and I'm like, I'm going over 250 total yards for Daniels. I did 250 plus passing yards for Goff with 2 touchdowns. That's the only thing I missed. I had Jameson Williams anytime touchdown. I had everyone hit except for that one little stat. Oh well. Again, bad beats. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
But then Ohio State won. So that's great.
By 9.
More
Good
than
job.
9
or 11, right?
Yeah, it's by 11.
Good job. Because it did not look like they were going to, and I thought I was going to not hit my.
This makes you wonder why they really kicked that field goal at the end.
It does.
You know,
a lot of money was being thrown on Notre Dame at that time.
Very true. I mean, I literally watched that line shift. When I was sitting there before the game, I'm like, is that -9? And I went to 8.5.
For sure.
I'm like, oh, okay. So people are taking that bet right now.
So we went to the birthday party, right? Hung out at their house, and the kids wanted to have a sleepover with their cousins. And I looked at my wife. I'm like, we should just then go home. Because my mother-in-law was coming in town anyways to watch the kids on Monday because school is closed, the holiday. So they all agreed to it. So me and my wife head home, and kids stayed the night, and we had a Sunday like just to ourselves. Like, I can't remember the last time it was like just us like in our house.
Did you guys go to brunch?
So we ended up getting breakfast.
Okay.
So I mean, my wife is like up at 6 a.m. like every day. Like, she just can't sleep in anymore. So she's up and at 'em. So I think we're out at we had to go run a few errands. Then we grabbed breakfast. We stopped by mom and dad's. Went back to the house. Did a bunch of the projects around the house we wanted to get done. And we're both just sitting on the couch at 3 o'clock. We're like, oh my God, when was the last time we sat next to each other on the couch and watched something together? This is weird, wild. And then we went to mom and dad's, right, for dinner, and the rest is history. Yeah.
Well, hey, nice, and had a nice little Sunday.
Oh, it's a nice little weekend. It was fun. But yeah, my son's sick. That sucks. But it is what it is.
'Tis the season, man.
OSU showed that it was more than they were just hot at the right time. You saw about halfway through the season, just how good this fucking team was. And if we play Michigan 10 times, we beat them 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
And we lost this year. No, I mean, it is what it is. But guess what? It's still a national championship. So
with no asterisks. Yeah. So that's fine.
Oh, fuck no. Fuck no.
But I mean, I will say
Notre Dame played tough though, man. They made it a game.
Yeah, I just that whole time with that matchup, my heart said Notre Dame, but my head was just like Ohio State's just the team to beat.
You said it when I walked into the room, and this was after Notre Dame had already marched down the field. Yeah. It was during Ohio State's first drive, right after they scored. I showed up at right after Ohio State scored, and you were like, Ohio State is the fastest team I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I was just compared to Notre Dame, they are so much faster, and you can see it's blatantly obvious. So yeah, it was just still a good game overall, though. It was still almost had a nice comeback, but
you know what the beauty
made it
of
worth watching.
We talked about this yesterday. The beauty about college sports now, and for Notre Dame specifically, Notre Dame has a rich alumni. And because NIL money is a thing, Notre Dame is always going to be relevant. They have a very good coach.
It's no secret that Ohio State spent $30 million in NIL deals.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to see the blue blood programs continue to reign supreme year after year. And now everyone's chasing Ohio State.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because you can knock Ohio State in the past for not winning big games, and choking it away. But we've always had loaded with talent. I mean, look, every draft. It's like us in Alabama, what I mean? Us, Alabama, Clemson for a few years had a bunch of guys going out, but
I mean, honestly, you could just call the Washington team basically Ohio State right now.
Yeah. People forget McLaren was a stud at Ohio State for a long time.
They got Chase, they got all kinds of guys.
Yeah, but I was just happy they made it a game, but then they made it a little bit too close, and I thought, I was just very happy that they kicked that field goal. Down.
Yeah, and then so today, after work, I met Dad up and went to the simulator.
How'd you hit it?
quite well.
Yeah?
I shot actually -2.
Did you?
Like
Okay.
a legit -2.
We're starting
today.
to figure it out. So
Yeah.
like we went from shooting terribly, and then the last time me and you went, like I shot 5 over, you were 3 over, but like we both kind of figured out like, okay, it's kind of a video game. You just got to play the video
100%.
game.
Once I learned like the putting,
Correct.
I've one putted.
You were
13
putting
holes,
Yeah, I'd say
like,
you were crushing
today,
me
so-
on the green. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to say it, like I was getting pissed because I'm like, this is not real life. This is fucking bullshit.
It's so true. It's gonna ruin me for the regular golf
do you
season.
do you
but,
think so?
dude? It's so much faster than anything we play on.
You mean the greens that we're putting
I
on
feel
the
like
simulator?
a 10-foot putt in the simulator, I am hitting 2 feet in front of me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So like, and I've just kind of attributed it to that. So like, I need to like a 30-foot putt is a 10-foot putt in my mind.
Yeah.
And that's what I had. So it's just, we play in slower conditions. So, man, do I wish greens were that fast though? Because once I can lock in on a shorter backstroke, my God, been killing it. But
yeah, super jealous.
yeah, it was weird though. Like driver was not on at the start. I'd hook one, then I'd slice one. I'm like, dude, I don't know if it was like misreads or something. Like it just didn't feel. It felt fine coming off the club face. So I couldn't figure it out. But then everything else was on 1.5. So all my irons were just
I'm gonna try to get up
green
there.
in regulation.
I'm gonna try to
just-
get up there this weekend. I think
Hey, you should.
I'm gonna try.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Because I'll go back up.
I mean,
It's fun.
I mean, I'm gonna have to try to bring one of the kids, but I think Nora really wants to go because we brought Logan last time,
Yeah.
so she wants to go to this one because she hasn't been to this one yet. So, we'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, I'm trying to think anything else. Oh, so Sunday was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
We had an interview with the Chicken Man
The
himself,
Chicken Man.
Mr. LeCarry Steele, and I know I posted this question on Patreon asking if there would be interest in us doing this interview. And it was kind of, I don't know, it was 50-50. Some people were
Yeah.
like, don't waste your time, like this guy's a clown. Other people were like, do it. Like it sounds like we're here for the drama.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about this guy going into the interview. And I have to say, we both left. After we hung up with him, we both like stopped and we looked at each other like, wow, was that good?
It was just fun.
He
Like,
was. He's an entertainer.
Yeah.
Like you can tell. Like you find out about
fascinating
this.
story that I was not expecting at all.
You got to go listen to it. It's on Patreon right now. If you go to patreon.com/bigasscornhole, you'll find it. And it's worth the listen. He's a super interesting guy.
sure, yeah.
His backstory blew us away. Like,
Yeah.
and I thought this had potential to be like a 5-minute interview. And
and
it
it was
turned into almost an hour.
Yeah,
so
it was a good bit, and honestly, I was just again just very very surprised, which is not something we get to have happen to us very often.
it was
in this
cool.
game, so.
It was a cool
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. And again, it got me excited again because you get in like these ruts doing this.
Exactly,
You get in
yeah.
the grind, the mundane of doing like just recording another week. But having like somebody that interesting, I'm like, this is what I loved. Like I love like it goes all the way back to when we interviewed Brandon Corwin.
Yes,
And we found out that he liked metal
Metal
detecting.
detecting,
Like
yep.
that when I've heard that, like that, fuck yes, like that's exactly what I wanted to learn about these kind of people. So that was super interesting. So if you want to check it out, it's on Patreon. We're gonna launch the audio eventually,
yeah, we'll put it up
but
for sure.
if you want to see the video, it's definitely worth it. But yeah, it's super interesting, dude.
I agree, and again, just not much drama. We didn't get into too much because
Nope.
he's just a
For sure,
character.
he is.
Character.
Excellent way to put it. All right, so let's move on to the recap. All right, so we have
time for the recap of Biloxi, whatever state it's in. Open.
All right,
All right, Sean. Hey, let's start it off with singles.
thanks, man.
All right, you want to do singles first?
Thanks.
All right, we're ready to mingle. Let it rip.
Taking that over, man. Thank you. I like that. It's aggressive.
I just felt like I needed to interject some energy into it.
All right, so surprise, surprise. Right when we start, we make the power rankings and we start saying like, damn, it's crazy that Tony Smith's not
Yeah.
on this. And he comes back and he reminds everyone like, no, still got it. So
I'm good.
Vintage Tony Smith style, just had all the shots. He was just skipping bags and rolling bags over anything that was in front of it. The dude's push game is just ridiculous.
Yes.
And he just doesn't, when he gets locked in, he just doesn't seem to miss. So he's always going to be in the mix. And it was just nice to kind of get reminded again that he's there.
He can get it done whenever he really wants to.
It seems like it,
my
man.
mind,
When right. When he just decides to take it
Because
seriously.
was this not like in Lucky's backyard?
Probably.
I think it, yeah. I mean, it probably just felt like a little like, do it for the Gipper.
Geographically, probably relatively closer than a lot of them. So yes.
All right, you know what? This is bothering me, so I just need to look
Go
up.
ahead. So he took down Josiah Arguin, who I gotta say I was super impressed. He played a pretty tough match against Tony Smith.
It's in Mississippi. It is
Okay.
Mississippi.
Yeah. So he played really tough. If you look at the final score, Tony Smith handled him fine, but he made a little bit of a comeback, and he has a really nice game. Like he's very well rounded. I've heard the name a bunch. I believe is he playing with DLE this year? Yeah,
it is. I think that's
right.
Yeah, I think that's her partner.
Her pro partner, right?
I believe so.
I thought so. So, but yeah, it was a really nice run. Young Gun also he took third in his bracket, but he's third overall bracket winner. Gabriel Clausen and then Mark Richards won his bracket
back,
again.
Mark.
Yeah, it just seems like again consistency's there again, and rolling into the season. It's a scary thing starting to see some of these names pop up.
Oh yeah,
because you're like, everyone's
they're
starting
just
to
rounding into form and getting ready for it.
It doesn't surprise me though, right?
No,
because like these guys have been here, done
exactly.
that.
This is a pro game, so now they're just making sure everything's tip top shape, getting ready for the show.
Yep. Second in the bracket, some other big names. Jamie Graham. Again, just one of the. He doesn't travel all that much.
Yeah,
he's been traveling more recently. It seems like. And his name, in singles, it was nice to see him up there.
Absolutely.
So,
but on side note, apparently he retorted our diss track drop. So we need to find that audio and listen to it at some point.
Yeah.
Sean just dropped that nugget of knowledge on me.
Yeah, I listened to
today,
a few minutes of the interview, but I did not hear the whole thing.
Okay.
So,
yeah, we'll have to get into it.
Also second in the bracket, Austin Waskow, fresh off of a solid TCL performance. So once again, showing that TCL, you do well in one of those signature events. It typically translates very well into these really competitive ACL Opens. You had Jackson Gore continuing his really impressive run, taking second in his bracket. And you also have Bryce Forbes, another young gun. We've told you early on, you got to keep your name. You got to remember this name. He's going to be kind of in the mix all season, I think. Sebastian Schaefer Ford, one of our new favorite dudes.
Hell yeah.
Just kind of reminding everyone that he hasn't gone anywhere. He's still slick side down. He's just still going to slink around you. He's third in his bracket. Gavin Cano, Ryan Wiedenfeld, and Gary Bearpaw round out the third in the bracket.
And Bearpaw getting his hands.
It's nice
on
to
the
see
action.
it. Yeah, it's nice to see it because we haven't really seen him in the mix too much. He was, I would argue, he was probably one of the more well-known rookies coming in.
I would think so.
By reputation,
yeah,
kind
for
of thing.
sure. He's just been around the game.
He's got a really nice
been
resume.
Successful for years, but
I mean, you start to see this
in
name.
good company though.
You start to see these names, and you're like, wow, is this an open or is this like a national? Because then you have fourth in the bracket, you have Alex Rawls, Adam Hissner, Matt Guy, Jordan Power. And then fifth in the bracket, you have Ian Cribb, Zach Aiken, Matt Wilson, Devin Harbaugh, Hayden Gonzalez, Sammy Soto, Trey Birchfield. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's pretty crazy, man. So I think it's a good thing to see that as the season as we inch closer to the season, the first signature event, we're going to start to see the top dogs eat. And it was a nice reminder. We're going to have to update our power rankings here pretty soon.
That we will.
And it was weird not having Tony Smith and Jamie Graham on there.
Yeah.
But now that they're almost the real season now, so you got to start to adjust the power rankings.
Exactly. Now name power does mean something. Sorry.
It does. It does.
There's a reason why there's name power.
It does.
They do it all the time. Now it's time for doubles.
Wow.
Take it away.
All right. So doubles. Thanks, Dane.
You're welcome.
Overall champions, Jamie Graham and Jacob Trzynski. Newfound teams, bestest friends, I think. I don't know. I have no idea if that's true.
The two best friends that anyone could ever have.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, but again, doing what we expect them to do. Like we fully expect them to be a top 5 team, if not a top 3 team by the end of the season.
Yeah.
Jamie Graham has had success in doubles with a bunch of different people. Same with Jacob Trzynski, and Jacob Trzynski just keeps getting better every single year. So I think he was both in our power ranking top 10. He's just a really good player right now. Putting those two together is just a dangerous fucking thing.
I mean, I said preseason, this was going to be the year that I think he's going to be on the lookout for that number 1 overall.
Yep.
So
overall second place was Hayden Gonzalez and Gabriel Clausen. Second in the bracket was Ryan Smith and Ryan Wiedenfeld, and then Colin Powers and Anthony Mayball.
Colin Powers, Austin's son.
So Ryan Smith and Ryan Wiedenfeld, again, they're just kind of always in the mix at these
Ryans,
big tournaments.
man. Yeah.
So do we expect them to take that step forward now, or like have we already seen their ceiling?
To me, they're like a shoe-in to be top 15, but I don't see them cracking close to the top 5.
Okay.
I think we'll see consistency.
So you don't think they'll win a
have.
national then?
No.
And why?
I want to see it.
Okay.
Like I want to.
Do you still consider Ryan Smith an elite player? And is that a fair question to ask?
It is.
Okay.
Elite, no. Whatever is the next subdivision of that.
Do you have to be like really good in singles also to be considered an elite player?
You don't. No, because there's definitely doubles players. Like I put Jordan Power as one of those like elite doubles that maybe isn't the same.
So you don't
as
consider
singles.
Ryan Smith an elite doubles
See, like he's
player?
been doing it for so long that yes, I do. Like that's why
honestly, I consider him an elite doubles player.
Like, my thing is it's not really Smith.
Oh, you're not saying that he's the question mark?
Yeah, I think it's more like if they want to win, then Wiedenfeld can't miss a shot because Smith he's going to play his game, which is safe, do what he does.
Yes.
And meanwhile, Wiedenfeld's got to be the weed whacker.
You're stealing my take. Yes, it's 100% what I was going to say. Yeah, I think Ryan Smith is like the steady presence.
Yeah, it threw me off that you threw him at me first because I'm like, no, that's not the.
I wanted to debate you. You did well.
Yeah, my thing is like I do find like he is an elite doubles player. Singles, not so much, but I think he focuses on doubles.
Yeah,
he focuses on throwing really well, one direction.
Yeah, he shovels really well.
I'm the shoveler.
Yes. If you get that reference, you have my respect.
Exactly.
But yeah, I agree. I think this is a season for me. I think I want to see Wiedenfeld. I want to see the full coming out party. Like I want to see him burst onto the scene and be as good as we all know he can be.
Yeah.
And if he's in the mindset to do that, I think this season could be fun to see. But I think he's the one that I'm really interested. I want to see if he can start rolling in singles and take that confidence over into
doubles.
That's
scary then. Yeah.
That's what I want to see. Just the whole package.
Because Ryan Smith's just like the greatest hype man. So.
Yep. New team this year, third in the bracket at this tournament.
Love to see it.
Grindersleeve and Turpin. I'm interested to see how this dynamic's going to work out throughout the season. They're both studs on the board. I think that them taking third in this bracket is just a step in the right direction. They have sneaky upside to be a top 10 team and like no one's really even talking about.
Yeah.
And that's crazy coming from that Grindersleeve is not even in anybody's like radar really.
And he's just Steady Eddie, literally.
I mean, Jesus Christ, the guy won 3 nationals in a row, just a season removed. And everyone's just like, oh, wait, what's his name again?
Yeah. Eddie G, baby. Don't forget it. And honestly, Turpin's just, I mean, he's another one that we just always said, like, if he would just get one, like, get over that hump, donezo. Like,
Turpin is a Matt Guy assassin every year at National One. Every year he matches up and he beats him.
Takes him down.
Yeah. He's always the one that starts the season real hot and then he kind of fades as the season goes on. So
but I think a lot of it's like frustration because he could never get over like second in a bracket.
Yeah. It seems like almost a guaranteed lock for these next 2 teams to be top. I mean, definitely top 10 would be Holland and Rawls.
Yes.
And then you have Henderson and Walker.
100%.
Again, like every year, Ethan Walker's gotten better. Mm-hmm. So I think the question mark is going to be Henderson. And can they agree on the bag?
That's a big question.
Cody's nitpicky, man. Like he threw something that he had a lot of control over for a long time. And now that's not the case. And Cody's so used to being like the dude, I think, in that relationship. Because even with him and Adam, like Cody, I think, made a lot of the decisions, it seemed like.
Yeah, because Adam can throw anything.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And he knew that like Cody's a little bit kind of a prima donna in that sort. Mm-hmm. So I think that once they figure out that dynamic, if they can really find a bag that they both feel comfortable with, then they're a scary team.
Yes.
Because then if Cody Henderson's feeling comfortable, that's when he starts to chirp.
Yeah.
And when he starts to chirp, that's when like everyone falls apart because he's really good at it.
And Ethan like strikes me as like a guy that if somebody's chirping by him, he's just gonna kind
Oh,
of
he's yeah.
feed into
He'd
it.
puff
no
his chest
problem.
up a little bit. You know what I mean? Little
Yeah, for sure.
testosterone. You know what I mean? I get it. For
Very
sure.
little, but it's there. There's some.
Sneak in there. Okay. All right. Let's move on to we got women's singles and doubles.
Are you nervous about that you didn't hear Jeremiah's name at all?
Was he there?
Yeah, him and Harbaugh took 5th in their bracket. He was nowhere to be seen in the singles at all, though.
I mean, if we're being honest, yeah, a little bit. Only because going into last year when
This is when he was
winning everything.
Yeah,
he
letting it
didn't
rip,
seem
but-
like he could lose. But I know he's got other stuff going on, and we know how talented he can be when he gets time to dedicate to it. And I just think that the season's still too far away.
Yeah.
I'm not panicking yet. Like, I think he showed enough last year that he belongs somewhere there. He's not in the top spot for a reason.
I mean, maybe it's a shift in thinking. Why blow the nut that early in the season? Make people remind you.
The first signature is what, April?
I think so. Yeah.
I mean,
That's
we're
true.
still 3
Got
months.
plenty of time.
Yeah, I mean, he's got plenty of
God,
time.
that's so long.
That's what
What
I'm
are we
saying.
gonna do until then?
Like, it's
Can't
still
even
like
golf right now.
We're slowly
Sean.
starting to ramp up here, but like we're still a ways away.
Why
from
isn't
the
this
season.
the cornhole season? It's all indoor, anyways. Right? Do it when it's miserable. Come on.
Might as well. So
Might
women.
as well.
All right, so women's singles. All right, hold on to your hats. Shine Bubenheim won. It's crazy. I know. She beat out Cameron Belvin. Actually made a nice comeback. Belvin played pretty tough. Cheyenne just seems to have her number. Emily Downer takes 3rd. Elizabeth Tennyson takes 4th, and then tied for 5th was Caitlin Allhouse and Malin De La Cruz.
Gigante.
Yes. Okay. Women's doubles. Cheyenne Bubenheim and Gina Ramirez continue their success. They just seem to kind of be rolling. They're clicking very well together. Second place, Rosie Streaker and Samantha Finley. And then we had Cassidy and Tennyson take 4th. They're a team that I think this year they can vie for one of those top 3 spots.
Oh, yeah.
Again.
Yeah. I mean, you'd hope so. Cassidy's been so consistently great on the women's doubles stage. So
The one other bracket that I think that we want to pay attention to just as like general cornhole like fans like going into this like big season is the juniors bracket. It's loaded with talent, man. So,
I mean, you look at these names right down this list. And
so you
you're
have
like, yep.
Gabriel Clausen won it. Jacob Gore took 2nd. Jackson Gore took 3rd. Logan Dupler took 4th. Cannon Hatcher took 5th, and Hunter Thomasy
Took 5th.
Yeah, I
Look
mean
at
it's a very loaded bracket, so it's fun to watch all that stuff.
Any one of those kids could have walked up and won the singles, and I wouldn't have been surprised. So
Yep. All right, so you ready for some
dramatic readings?
Do it.
In a world where bean bags have brought men to their knees, social media serves as sanctuary for keyboard warriors. Time for the dramatic readings.
Addicted to cornhole. This is Mr. Kyle Butler, or Cornhole Jesus, as you might know him.
Cornhole Jesus.
Things I think the ACL should do, even though they didn't ask. I'll go first. Bring back the ability to qualify off of points. Do away with elite and let people just pay $1,000 and buy in as pros if they want, even if it excludes them from the benefits of the ones that qualify and requalified. Offer regional and local directors more incentives and discounts on pro stamp boards that they require. Build a headquarters large enough to house opens and worlds, and just host them all in one location, or just do it all at the current headquarters. Find a way to make the search engines and the wallet more functional on the website. Do away with pro comp stamp and just make yearly stamps. Literally all the bags are the same. It's confusing for the average player. Lastly, this isn't a bash post. I know the powers that be follow this page, and I think this is a great way for us, the players, not pros, to say the things we feel.
And he might be the first person that's ever used Addicted to Cornhole as a safe space.
and without like
The way it's intended to be used? What?
and without like an alias. You know what I
Yes.
mean? No burner accounts there.
Nope.
Step over Stanley. All right. this guy is so butthurt that we had Carrie Steele on. He wants to come on and be a guest so bad. No.
All right, Patreon
All right.
members, what do you think?
No.
See the next
I'll
one?
just put that one out right now. All right. So, okay. So some of these ideas we've talked about before.
Yes.
We've-
Definitely
we've-
like all in one location. Definitely have covered that one a lot.
Yeah. I go back and forth on it because I do think one of the draws to this is people like to travel and see different locations. But with that is going to come varied cost and uncontrollable.
Yeah, you find a spot that's willing to be a cornhole mecca, then whenever you go there, the red carpet's rolled out because money's rolling in for the whole area and people tend to like that kind
I
of
think
stuff.
that if they had set locations every year, I think it could work.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, just have
Not one
certain
location.
cities that you just ink a deal for the next 5 years.
So every year you're going to have one in Vegas.
Yes.
Done. Every year you're going to have one in Carolina at the headquarters, which is probably Worlds, but you could probably make 2 of them there.
Yeah.
You're going to probably have one down in Florida, someone either in Arizona or California. And
Yeah,
you just
one of the two.
You know what I mean? One of the two. Yeah, I mean, I think
The
there's
last
a way
one should be like Ohio.
It just
right in
makes-
Cleveland.
planning your travel, it just makes it that much easier. And again, if you go to a location, sometimes you're sold and you want to go back because you like the venue so much.
Mhm.
So if you find a good venue, kind of snag it up. So
Very true. Very true.
I do think that the pro and comp, it's just at this point,
It's so
it's true.
convoluted.
Like, I get that you want to have like some sort of quality, and it's a marketing tool for the ACL, and that's really all it comes down to. But as a player that they're just getting in, it really makes it difficult.
Yes.
And especially it sucks for bag makers. Like, if you're selling comp bags, people are like, well, don't I want the pro ones? Like, well, no,
Exactly.
they're actually the same. If I was new to the sport and someone's like, no, they're actually the same, like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Horrid.
sure. I'm gonna go ahead and get the one that says pro.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
It's like, wait, these are only $10 more, and it says pro stamp. Thank
correct.
you. Yeah,
So there's
I'll
got to
take
be a
those.
way you meet in the middle where maybe the people who are throwing, like, doing the comp, or they might have to pay more or something, a little bit, but just get rid of all the stamps and just make it a yearly thing. I do think that's kind of a route you could go.
I do like that too.
I don't know what kind of incentives that they're offering regional and local directors in terms of discount. I don't know, because you said more incentives, so obviously there is some.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind it would be. And then
The first point was not bring back ability to off points, but the do away with the elite and let people just pay the 1,000.
yeah.
I mean, they had that in the past, like
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
And honestly, it wasn't. You didn't have a real pro field back then,
Yeah.
so I feel like that's you can't just do that.
I mean, I think the elite program serves its purpose right now, and it's going to serve its purpose even more going forward because
When the field gets cut,
they're only going to have 100 pros, and then the rest of those tournaments are going to be filled in from this elite bracket.
yeah.
So like that's, I'm interested to see if that's what it's actually going to be the case, or if they're only going to do 100 pros in this. Because the thing is it a good look for the ACL if an elite player comes over and wins? You can argue it's not the best look,
it's
right?
not, but that's the whole point of the program, and maybe the allure to sticking around the ultra competitive level of cornhole. Hey, you can still have your day and get
Yeah.
on ESPN. Who knows? You never know.
It's true. All right, let's go to the next one.
Next,
You want to do this one?
yes,
Do.
addicted to cornhole. Matt Smith. On the verge of quitting for the 4th time this week. Throw a 9 PPR or better in rounders just to crap the bed in bracket play. Been struggling for a few months. Even on an open board, just flat out missing. Unfortunately, it's getting to the point where I may quit. I had to vent a little since my wife doesn't care and would love me to quit. See you next week.
I love this one so much.
Because it speaks to every fiber of my being. I've been this man on so many occasions. It's not even funny. Like I had that whole year-long struggle where I just forgot how to fluidly throw a bag.
The last sentence just
Yes,
shook
my
me to
wife doesn't
core.
care.
Like
And
that just
would
should
love
be
for me to
like,
quit.
oh my god, like that just should be legal. Like, listen, man, you can use Addicted to Cornhole and vent anytime you want.
100%.
All right, this is what it's for, and we are here for you, and that's why you have 109 comments.
Yep.
And he was
And-
only posted less than a day.
Yeah, the only advice I can give you is try two-stepping and throwing for like 6 weeks.
Or just go and have fun and stop caring about how well you do in bracket play.
Maybe
and
you're
then
not
all of a sudden you're
having
gonna have fun.
enough fun.
Maybe
while you play.
that is the
That's probably what's happening. Because
Yeah, correct. It's definitely never like you're having too much fun
exactly, it's no such thing.
because everyone wins then. Let's do it.
Next, is this the first one in this series?
It's the second one.
This is the second one.
Yeah. There you go.
Right here.
Yep.
Let it rip.
So just a little bit of backstory to this. This is on Addicted to Cornhole. And the original post was James Fitzy St. Cyr Jr. And he was asking about who was hosting a specific tournament in South Florida.
Okay.
All right. In the comment section, Davis Streaker commented and said, interesting, because in the last 5 days, including today, we've offered 13 events in South Florida. It just happens you are 2 hours away in Miami, the most southern most of the peninsula. LOL. In the last 10 years, we've hosted close to 2,500 events, not including a ton of private events in South Florida. Do you play cornhole or do you play scoreholio? If you like cornhole, play cornhole. And he goes on further. 6 events today in West Palm. Bill Marino is playing in it. Drive yourself to his house. He'll drive you. There's others from Miami too. And others from Broward. Hitch a ride. Come play cornhole. Singles and doubles. There you go. Crisis diverted. Turns out you can play cornhole in South Florida. A shit ton of it. LOL. You're welcome. So this
Mic drop.
Man, so this quickly turned into, like, this guy was honestly just asking a question, posted up a screenshot of a tournament that was going on in South Florida on Scoreholio.
Mhm.
And he's like, hey, is anyone on here running this tournament? I just wanted to know, like, where it is. Like, is it a private event kind of thing? Like, just innocent. Does anyone know anything about this?
Yeah.
And Davis goes in, I think, really hard in the paint. Like, taking it personally, being like,
I mean, do you think maybe there's more backstory from this guy or something?
no, there's not. Like, there's not at all.
Okay.
Like, I don't think this was not intended. And the guy apologizes, like, to Davis, like, 4 times. He's like, I was not trying to get your, I was this not an attack post. I was just asking if anyone knew who was running the tournament. And then instantly it turns into, like, this ACL software versus Scoreholio software kind of thing. Like, oh, he's only saying, like, there's no Scoreholio events, and so there's definitely cornhole in South Florida because we run it all. Like, we calm down,
Okay,
man. Like,
calm.
no one was trying to make this a Scoreholio versus ACL like software. And if we're talking software, we can all admit, all right, this is a
Yes.
safe place. Scoreholio is better.
It's way better.
Just easier. It's easier and it's better. And their search function, you can actually find fucking tournaments.
Yeah.
You have tried to find an event that's not a regional on the ACL search engine. It's impossible. It's like it's the most difficult search engine in the world. And it's 2025. They have AI that can write articles for you now.
That
To
they
do
can.
anything, to make imaginable videos. You know what I mean? It's incredible. And yet I can't go on a fucking ACL. You know, can we pull it up real fast? Can you go to the ACL website? Can we try to search for an event real fast? Lightning fast internet.
Lightning fast.
All right, so
So where do I search?
go to this little
dongle?
go to find ACL events.
Find ACL events. Click.
Allow.
We'll allow it.
All right, so we're gonna go into within 500 miles or something. There we go. Yeah.
500 miles. Because I would walk 500 miles for 3 months from today. And we'll
Dane's
do
gonna enter his address.
235.
Says they have since updated the screen, which is giving me hope. All right, so 3 months.
Loading. Maybe the parameters are just too much, man. Maybe
Well,
there's
give us a
just
second.
too many events.
I don't think that's the case. Is it anything that? No, still nothing there. It's super difficult, man. But I can go on Scoreholio right now and find
Let's
stuff
go
anywhere.
1 week.
So it's one. I know that has definitely been one of the like the big critiques of the ACL has been like their search function. It is hard to find things, but it's just something that I think that it needs to have attention. Maybe that's one of the changes that they're going to be making.
It's crap,
man. They talked about like trying to target like the average player, right?
Yes.
The guys that aren't interested in going like these opens, like they just want the average.
You need to make it easier to run a tournament for the guys crushing beer at their local bar.
Correct.
Running a blind draw.
Correct.
If you want people to use your software.
Correct.
It's that simple.
Yeah. But like, is it too late for them to like kind of get into that market? That's what I'm saying. It's like it seems like they already missed that. You
should have partnered with Scoreholio when you had the chance a long time ago. Because now it would be way more expensive to do it.
Correct.
Because they're bigger than Cornhole.
Yeah.
I mean,
very true.
It's the truth.
Very true. All right. Next.
All right,
You want this
one? This is a long one. All right, sure.
All right.
We'll see if we can finish it before the end of the song. Speed read. Ready, set, go. Jonathan Hernandez. Thoughts? Was at a cornhole tournament today. $50 a team, $1,300 in total payouts, and a player from another team had to leave during rounders. Somebody stepped in a spot until they could return. It just so happened me and my son went against this team for our first game during bracket play. The original player returned during the game, but about 10 rounds in, his partner and temp fill-in beating us about 14-6. Instead of him stepping in during the middle of the game, me and his partner briefly talked and ultimately finished the game with the players that started the match, which I was for because I would have originally matched up with the player returning if he would have been there to start the match because my son wouldn't be able to keep up with him. Ultimately, me and my son came back to win the match. The returning original player didn't publicly voice any concern. He's a pretty chill guy. However, a different player from his local league did essentially saying it was BS and acted like a crybaby. My question is, would you let a player substitution occur midday or midway through a game, since they were technically the one to sign up, or whoever starts the game finishes it, and the substitution of the original player can happen the next match? If it was a normal league night, cheaper cost, it wouldn't really matter in my opinion. But since it was a bigger tournament, I think the standard is higher.
So I think he kind of hit the nail on the head with his last little statement. That's kind of where I'm at. If it's like a local league or something, honestly, even if it's a local league, I don't think if you start a match and it's like an actual match, and it matters, even if it's for standings or something. If you start a match with those two players, those are the guys that got to finish. Right?
I agree. Yeah, they got to.
There's no fucking swapping out. Like, there's no like celebrity rounds.
I mean,
here.
I'm kind of like against that period, but especially for like a bigger tournament like that. Like, I know it's rounder, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So it is what it is.
But it sounds like from what he's saying that at least the guy that was filling in wasn't as good as the guy that was sitting out.
Yes, which is to me, that's perfectly okay then.
It's how we do leagues around here.
Exactly.
You know, like
if
they do.
If you need a sub, you just
PPR
grab
levels.
somebody that's a lower PPR than you, or like within a certain range.
Yeah, correct.
So yeah, I mean, I get his point. I don't think I would have been upset with any way that it was handled.
Yeah,
in that thing though, like that's the kind of shit that I just don't care about.
But no,
the cornhole community,
I know,
tends to get so riled up.
But I don't see any issue with how he handled it. I think, and he did the right thing. He talked to the other guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Partner,
as long as you guys
agreed,
just agree on it and then just move on, Let bygones be bygones.
And it wasn't even the other team that was mad. It was some other dude.
It was a random guy.
He has no life. He's a fucking loser. So just ignore him.
Yeah. So it's Stanley.
Oh.
Hey, shots fired.
Anyways, you want to cue the rap horn?
Yeah, let's do that.
Do that. You can reach us at Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube at Big Ass Cornhole.
And Facebook at Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Thanks again to Draggin Bags.
They're the best.
Y'all the best, man.
And if you're
Best
on
bags.
Patreon, you got to see a little sneak peek of some of the designs we're working up. So I think I'm hoping I talked Dan into, we're going to be releasing 2 different designs. It's coming up soon.
Okay.
You might
I'm
even
down.
be able to hear the big burly man himself. He's going to be joining us as a guest with Mr. Gina Ramirez and a special guest, surprise guest, mystery guest.
Oh, you're not telling me who?
No,
Am I
I'll
gonna
tell
be in
you
the
off
dark?
air. No,
Oh.
I'll let you know.
Oh, maybe keep it a surprise.
No, I'll tell you off air.
Damn. All right.
Sorry.
All right. Fair enough.
You can't handle that much excitement.
That's
so
true.
it's just
That's true.
I'll let everyone else know. But yeah, if you are looking to support the show at all, we would greatly appreciate it. You could do so over at patreon.com. If you go to patreon.com/bigasscornhole for the price of a beer a month for $5, you can get access to bonus material. We offer different tiers. The $10 and $20 tiers, they're eligible for happy hour calls, giveaways, and all that kind of stuff. So, but thank you guys.
Indubitably.
All of our Patreon peeps, thank you so much. Hope you guys have been enjoying some of the bonus content we've been coming out with. Like that interview with Harry Steele was so good. If you're on Patreon, if you haven't listened to it, I implore you, go listen to it. I don't ever push
He never
interviews.
implores.
I never push interviews or any episodes, right? Like I never say like you got to go listen to this. Like if you have time, sweet. I'm telling you, this is super
It was a fun
interesting.
one, man. Just
We had a lot of
interesting.
fun with it. It was super interesting. I don't know 100% what went down in his area. I'm not vouching for the guy or anything, but his backstory is super interesting, and we verified it all. So it's true. So it's very cool stuff.
Hell yeah.
Very cool. So
Very cool.
so yeah. Oh, so kind of a big announcement. We're so Best of the Bags is going to be coming up. So we decided that Best of the Bags is going to be launching the week of February 3rd. So February 3rd is that Monday. So that Monday night, live on the Book of Face, as some might call it, on Facebook, we're going to go live, and we are partnering up with the new. We've passed the torch, man.
Anointed him.
Yeah, man. We've passed the torch. For a long time, we did bag reviews pretty much every week. We've reviewed over 400 sets of bags on the show over the last 5 years. And this last year, this last year, we kind of just decided to change gears a little bit, and we just stepped back, and very capable hands came forward and was producing phenomenal content. And I cannot push it again more. If you're a cornhole fan and you're not following Mike's Bags on YouTube, you're doing yourself a disservice. He does amazing bag reviews, and he's up to well over 300 type like videos up on YouTube and stuff. So you got to go check him out. But we're partnering with Mike Bags to bring you guys a new form of the Best of the Bags this year.
Heck yeah.
It's going to be one massive freaking bracket.
Yeah, and you can tune in live, and we're just gonna
break
go over the brackets.
We're gonna
break
go
them down
like
for y'all.
NCAA style, like bracket breakdown live on Facebook. We're gonna let everyone know what seeds they are, let you know when the matchups are gonna start, how the voting, all that stuff is gonna work. But yeah, so we're excited. So
Hell yeah,
some stuff in the works
it's gonna be awesome.
every year. I love it. This is like my favorite. The hype build up to it is my favorite.
I'm gonna give you and I drawing capabilities
Okay.
when we have the bracket up, so we can like
Oh,
circle and like go crazy.
Oh
with
yeah,
it.
please.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll have fun with it.
You kill the mouse like boom. And you see,
Look at And they're just gonna come out of nowhere and slap him right in the eyes. It'll be great.
Yeah,
It'll
so-
be great.
Yeah, so excited to partner up with Mike on this. We just had a call with him a little bit ago. Super good dude. So again, if you haven't checked out his stuff, go to Mike's Bags at YouTube, and really good stuff.
Hell
Can't
yeah.
say enough.
Sorry, I'm getting distracted by whatever was just on this TV.
All right.
Yeah, we need to wrap it
We're
up.
gonna wrap it up. All right, folks. Hope you guys had a good one. We'll be back next week with more audio gold. But as always, we hope you throw it straight. And it's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later.